Alright, guys, welcome to the 18th episode.
Oh,
um, yep, let's let Lakota figure it out real quick.
I actually forgot how to count for a minute, so
The 18th episode of the Trackside Girls podcast. Whoa, that's wild. Um, so, news in the truck series for next season. Lakota's not favorite person, Christian Eckes, is gonna be back in the 19 car or truck next season, and he's gonna have Charles. Oh gosh, I don't even know how to say his last name. Um, as his crew chief. Um, NASCAR added more rules. Feels like they're kind of making it up as they go, to be honest.
they
Um,
definitely
So they added a new rule about the tailpipe assembly under the DVP clock, which is the damaged vehicle policy. Um, it's essentially they put it in because of how Ricky Stenhouse's car caught on fire during the Roval, and said when teams made fixes, they accidentally sent him out with the tip of a of tailpipe, which caused the fire. Um, so literally, just it wasn't all of what was coming out of the tailpipe was not being sent out of the car. It was heating up that part of of the car, and that's what set it on fire. Um, so NASCAR put that into the damaged vehicle policy, and they have to have that part of the car. Something that majorly surprised me, which I'm low key upset about. Um, there was a contract buyout in Colleague, and Chandler Smith is going to be moving to Joe Gibbs Racing, and driving for them in the Xfinity Series next season. I not the biggest fan. I love Chandler. Um, but from what I've seen from the Joe Gibbs drivers, they they're not
it's not it.
like, yeah, they just feel very stuck up, I guess. Whenever they reach that level, and because every time, like, they're they're not always bad, but they just seem to lose fan interaction whenever they go to that team. And Chandler is like really sweet, really humble. So I'm scared to see what, like, obviously I feel like it's better equipment, so that will do him some good. But I just hope that it doesn't change him and his personality, you know. Because fun fact, Chandler Smith is younger than the three of us. Um, and he
He's
also,
a baby.
yeah, speaking of, he's a baby. He just welcomed his second baby.
I just want to know what am I doing wrong with my life because this man's literally already married and has two children.
And he is 3 years younger than both me and you.
Yeah, what the frick?
Like, hold on. Let me double check. Let me fact check
Wait,
this, okay?
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's 20, but how old is his wife? Isn't she only like
Oh, sorry, he's 21.
oh
Wait, his wife, let's see. How Yes, he June 26, 2002. Um
I'm still older than him by a month.
what am I'm sitting here filming a motorsports podcast, and
same girl, same.
but anyway, um so onto the weekend. They raced at Homestead, Miami. Um, Nick Sanchez got truck pole, which I thought, I didn't watch the entirety of the truck race, but I was like, oh my gosh, yes, high hopes for Nick Sanchez. And then I join at the end of the race, and Nick Sanchez is like 2 spots below the line, and I'm like, what happened? Um, but so Nick Sanchez truck pole. Cole Custer got Xfinity pole. As for the truck race, our boy Carson Hocevar won his way into the championship 4, which, to be fair, he was already second in points, so he could have advanced on points, but you know what? He was like, points are not enough. We're gonna go out and win this thing. And then next race we're gonna be out there, we're gonna win it. We're gonna win that championship. You know what? Corey Heim has been like points leader this entire thing, but Carson Hocevar has this championship in the palm of his hand. Now he's just got to go out there and be the best one at Phoenix.
Carson said he was racing Homestead like it was Phoenix.
Oh, well, I mean, that makes sense. Now he's just got to go out there and do it again.
Yeah.
One of the reasons Zane Smith did not get a chance at being in the championship 4 is he got disqualified. Let's see. It was for...
Did you see how bad it was?
Even watching the race, you can tell.
Well, when Carson was watching it, when he was watching the highlights of the truck race on Twitch last night, I didn't notice it until he literally pointed it out, and I'm like, oh, that's bad. Like, that is so bad.
Like, watching the race, like, I could tell, like, it looks weird on Zane's truck. It's like going straight and then go dipping in, and then
I didn't notice it. Carson pointed it out to me, literally on Twitch. He was like, look how bad that is. And I was like, that makes sense now how bad it is. That, and I was on and off again watching the race.
But so Zane was missing the windshield support bar, and so he got disqualified for that, and his truck was taken back to the R&D center. I don't know how something like that happens. How do you, like, I feel like, I don't want to say it was purposeful, but how can you miss something that important putting together this truck?
Yeah, I don't.
So,
It was.
Yeah, it was
Bad.
like, that's rough. The Xfinity race did have a caution because there was just a random tire sitting on pit road for, it was what, like 20 laps or something?
Wait, it was on pit road? I just thought it was like on the track.
it was on pit road. They left us in there for like 20 laps.
No one noticed just a big tire sitting on pit road for 20 laps?
They called it out, and then they were just like, and they waited for like 20 laps, and then they're like, now we're called a caution.
NASCAR is literally so stupid. They call cautions
at the wrong times.
So they just call them so badly.
True. I agree.
Like when it like literally downpoured in like one of the turns, and then half the field had a wreck out, and then they decided to throw the caution.
Daytona. You mean Daytona last year?
Yeah. Where literally everybody was saying it's pouring down rain in like whatever turn it was, and NASCAR didn't believe them, and then they finally freaking called it, and I'm like, it took half the field.
Yep.
it took the entire field to basically wreck out for you to realize that you should probably throw the caution.
We had one of our boys win the truck race. We had another one of our boys, Sam Mayer, win his way into the championship 4. I have stated this. I want Sam Mayer. Like, that would be, like, I feel like, I don't know if Justin Allgaier's ever won an Xfinity Series championship. Like, so I feel like he's long overdue for that. But Sam Mayer.
Carson and Sam have done the same thing. 4 wins in a row, both won their way into the championship. This year, they got their first win, and now they've proceeded to get 3 other wins to make it 4. And now they get to race for the championship.
I will say, if there was another lap in the Xfinity race, Riley would have caught Sam. If they would at least been one more lap, Riley would have caught him.
Riley was really close, actually.
Yeah. If there was at least just like one more lap, Riley would have caught Sam.
I honestly thought Riley was going to go back to back, and then it would have been sobbing all over again.
But I think Riley just needed like one more lap, and he would have caught Sam.
Maybe.
But for the Cup Series, Joey Logano crashed in practice. That was like information that like completely. I saw like a replay of that, and
I saw nothing.
But let's see. Oh, I called him in the group chat. I called him Ricky Spinhouse. I don't remember how it happened, but I know he hit the wall and broke a toe link. About 70 to 80 laps in. And one of the big events of the Cup race, Kyle Larson hit the sand barrels at the end of pit road. Like, I don't know, he thinks Ryan just slowed up a little too much before going on a pit road, but like Kyle Larson was like flying. Like,
I know.
He had to straight up avoid Ryan. Which is why he went into the barrels. And
yeah. If he didn't go into the barrels, he probably would have got a pit road penalty because he was so fast going down pit road that he just kind of had to avoid Ryan and then go into the sand and literally just go into the sand barrel. Like, I was like, what?
It felt like a scene out of a movie. Like, you know how like those people like in a police chase or something and they hit something? That's what it felt like.
It kind of went in slow-mo, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it was like, what? I just sat there and I just looked and I'm like, what just happened?
Like, I had literally turned the race on, like, to actually watch it, because before that I was just watching the updates because I was driving back from a dirt bike track racing. I'm just racing everywhere. So I literally, as soon as I flipped on the TV, it's playing the replay of him going into the barrels. And I'm like, huh?
In his interview, he said he felt more bad for Blaney. He said he hoped he didn't ruin Blaney's day.
Yeah, a
little bit.
I mean, he only tapped him, but like it was more of that kind of because of Ryan, like them throwing the caution. Like, it's just bad timing, you know? But after that, Larson was done for the day. And then on the so they had a red flag. They had to fix the barrels. They had to bring out new smaller barrels to replace the big ones that Larson had destroyed. But when they restarted, the 15, which was driven by what, JJ
Yealy, yeah.
This past weekend, John Hunter Nemechek and Ross Chastain, and I believe there was even one more that was involved in that. I think it was Brad Keselowski, and
yeah,
they all get involved in a wreck on the restart. Yeah, that was. And then we had Denny Hamlin hit the wall and lose steering. So he was out of the race. Martin Truex had engine issues. It was not a good day for playoff drivers.
It was literally like right after another. Like, Denny literally went in the wall, and then it was Truex, and I'm like, what is happening? And now Denny's below the cut line.
Uh-oh.
Him and Truex are both tied.
Guess what? I don't see a championship in Denny Hamlin's future anytime soon.
At least not this season.
Yeah, no. Because I have a feeling someone's gonna take him out in Martinsville. I'm just stating facts.
But all in all, I actually fell asleep with like 20 to go, and then woke up to Christopher Bell having his post-race interview because he won. So he solidified his place in the championship 4, meaning both him and Larson are the two that are confirmed that will be racing for a championship. Let's see, more NASCAR news. Dean Thompson is going to be staying at Tricon Garage next season in the 5 truck. And we know our name. We know we're the Carson hosts of our fan club, so we've got to share this news. Carson is officially an owner of his own full-time late model program. He used to race late models, but now with the Cup schedule, he won't really have that much time to do that anymore. So he
and he said that he's still gonna try and race part-time for trucks too.
He announced Chase, I want to say Pincinel? I believe he's from Canada, I want to say.
Yes.
But signed him as his driver for his late model program. So he wanted to keep it. He wanted to keep it alive. He didn't want to sell his late model cars. Let's see. So this past weekend, Formula One was here in the States, in Austin, Texas. But before we get into the U.S. Grand Prix, there are more star athletes that invested in Alpine, like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce.
Those are my.
I believe there's a golfer, there's a boxer, and then I think two non-American football players. I want to call it football, but like here in America, if you think football, you're thinking like throwing the football, not kicking. So soccer players, okay? There's soccer players. They invested into Alpine, and you saw a couple of those actually show up at the Grand Prix this past weekend. So you can see that all of that in Alpine's content. some big news for the girls in motorsports. Bianca Bustamante, Filipino driver in F1 Academy, has become the first McLaren driver. She is part of McLaren's junior driver program, and she will be running a McLaren livery in in F1 Academy next season for 2024. I love her so much. This is such great news for her. Gosh. It's like, also, us Filipinos look really good in orange. Just saying. Like, it literally makes us look so much tanner. It's so great. Like, even though, like, okay, obviously I look really pale, okay? But I tan really well. I'm only a quarter Filipino. But, like, just, it goes great with their skin tones. Okay, anyway.
I don't easy.
Martia, I think that's how you say it. Either Marta or Martia Garcia became F1 Academy's driver champion. She is from Spain, I believe. And so Carlos went out and took pictures with her pit board and the Spanish flag. So that was such a cute moment, because, like, these are the people that these girls look up to. Like, yeah, okay, it's in Formula 1, there isn't really, like, women drivers. There hasn't been in, gosh, I think since, like, 83, I think, was the most recent one. So the F1 Academy is, like, these girls looking up to be one of the guys in Formula 1. To be the first woman of the century in Formula 1. And then you had George Russell, was the one who presented the F1 Academy trophies. And then, let's see, Lewis Hamilton went and visited the girls before the weekend started. And so it's just, I'm so glad that, like, they're encouraging these girls and not being like, oh, this is a man's sport. So I'm happy to see that they're actually, like, more open to female racers, you know? It's a big step for girls in motorsports. So the race. Let me just recap the weekend. So Friday, it was a sprint weekend, first off. You had Charles get pole for the Grand Prix. Saturday was the sprint and the sprint shootout. During the sprint shootout, Max Verstappen did a 360 and kept going. Like, this isn't the first time he's done this, for one. But, like, to be able to do that in a Formula 1 car is honestly kind of impressive. To be honest, I don't know who won the sprint. I'm assuming it was Max, because he wins everything. But
She wins everything.
But let me double check. Yes, Max won by 9.5 seconds. So, for the race, Esteban Ocon had to DNF due to damage with Oscar Piastri. Something we did not expect. Lando Norris was starting on the front row. Okay? Lando led almost half of the race. Like, we. Listen, us McLaren Lando Norris girlies were stressing. Okay? I can tell you from experience because I was stressing. And then Oscar had to retire because of the damage with Esteban Ocon. There wasn't really any other like major stuff that happened, which I was really surprised, to be honest. But of course, Max Verstappen showing his Red Bull dominance, won the U.S. Grand Prix, which I believe this is his, I want to say, third win in a row at COTA. You had Lando on the podium. He was third with Driver of the Day. And originally, Lewis Hamilton was in second. But we'll get to that in a second. But this marks Max Verstappen's 50th career win. He is 26 years old. He has been in Formula One since he was 17, which is no longer allowed. He was the last person to be able to do that. You have to be 18 to drive in Formula One. But yeah, he is the youngest person to compete in a Grand Prix. He is the youngest Grand Prix winner. He is the youngest world champion. He has the longest running consecutive win streak with 10 wins. He has the most wins in a season, which is currently at 15. So he is breaking a lot of records this in his career. Let's see. So after the race said and done, so I had to explain this to my mom. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc were disqualified from the race. So the way the cars are, there is a wooden plank that runs down the center of the car underneath the floor. And on the two ends are two metal little pieces, which whenever you see the car sparking on the track, that is what's rubbing on the ground. So those metal pieces basically try to protect that wood plank from being damaged. Because if that wood plank is damaged, you are violating FIA specifications, which is what happened with Charles and Lewis's cars. That plank was damaged, meaning they were running the car too low, potentially. I'm not exactly sure how else they would damage it, but that was my assumption. But I'll read. Let's see. So obviously the ones on the podium have to go through tech, like essentially like how NASCAR takes the top 5. So they take the cars from the podium, as well as I think they choose one other random car, and I believe Lewis Hamilton was actually running a new floor at the U.S. Grand Prix. So I guess they didn't take into account how that would affect, because COTA is a very bumpy track. It's like you can even ask the NASCAR drivers about that. Essentially, the wear on that particular piece was not up to code, which means it had moved Lando up to a P2 and Carlos onto the podium with the 2 spots being taken out of the top 10. It was given Logan Sargeant his first ever F1 points. This is the first time since, I believe, 1993 that an American got points in F1. So originally, Logan had finished 12th, which I do believe would have actually been his best finish this season. But with the 2 disqualifications, it moves him up into the points. You had Yuki Tsunoda have fastest lap. It was a very very crazy weekend here in the States. And then some other news outside of F1. I talked about him a couple times. Bikini Antonelli, who was racing for Prema in the in Freca, has been signed by Prema to race in F2 next season. So another rookie gonna be in the car over at Alpine. Jack, okay, apparently I've been saying his name wrong. I say Duhan, but apparently it's Doohan. Jack, yeah, because well, his whole thing, his like brand is apparently doing okay. So like his last name and
Wait, but that's clever though.
Yeah.
That's pretty clever.
But he is going to be in the seat of the Alpine for FP1 in both Mexico and Abu Dhabi. So we're getting down to the wire. So basically all of the teams have to put a rookie into the seat. I believe in at least 2 FP1 sessions, I want to say. I think some of them have done a few more, but you get to, I think the drivers get to like pick and choose like which ones they want to basically sacrifice for themselves. Like, let's see, I think Carlos specifically said that Robert could drive Zandvoort. So you saw footage of Carlos in the garage during FP1 whenever Robert was out in his car. But yeah, so that's like one of the things. You have to have a rookie in your car for a certain amount of sessions. Which McLaren already got one of those sessions out of the way because they brought a rookie on this season with Oscar Piastri. So in let's see, where did they start? It wasn't Jeddah. Bahrain? Was that the first one? Yeah, because it's the Bahrain curse. So yeah, in Bahrain, they already knocked out one of their sessions. And then they're gonna have Pato Award for the others. Let's I guess let's move on to next week. So the girls, we're gonna be at Martinsville. Very excited. We're do you have your microphone?
Yes.
Okay.
I had to figure out how to use it, but I think I know how.
Okay.
I have to charge it.
Okay.
But I will have said tiny microphone.
That would be fun.
That'll be.
Yeah, and then that way, like, we can chase after drivers and
we go run after him like, hang on, wait, we have a question. Take this tiny microphone. Let me ask you a question. Yeah.
You know, I feel like Carson would be very amused with a tiny microphone.
It would look even tinier. Yeah, that'll be in the backpack.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be in costume on I wanna say Saturday. Let's see. So we have it's only Cup and Xfinity this weekend at Martinsville. Trucks are off until next weekend, whenever all 3 series races for the championship. It's gonna be fun. I feel like it's gonna be a fun weekend.
I can't believe that the race weekend's almost over. Like, I can't believe like NASCAR stuff is almost over.
Yeah, it feels so like
after Martinsville, it's literally the championship weekend, and we're gonna know who our champion is in truck, who it is in Xfinity, and who it is in Cup.
So now that we have gotten past Homestead, we have to confirm our championship force for Xfinity and Cup, because we only have one more race, and then we will know next week who the championship for are. Let's see. So for
I pull up my handy NASCAR app.
Okay, so for Xfinity, we already know Sam won his way in. And he's the only one that has won his way into the championship 4 so far.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I feel like John Hunter Nemechek's a given.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like,
well, he has enough points to get in anyways. So
yeah.
even if he screws up in Martinsville, he has enough points to get in.
Yeah. And then it looks like Cole Custer and Austin Hill are currently tied. So, let's see.
I think the only one I'm gonna change is I'm gonna kick Austin out and put Justin in.
I think I would say that too. See,
yeah.
My boy Chandler Smith, I don't know unless he can go out and win Martinsville.
Chandler would have to win, or Sammy would have to win. I would prefer Sammy over Chandler, but that's me.
But okay, so I think that's how it's gonna end up. Sam, John Hunter, Cole, and preferably Justin Allgaier over Austin Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As for the Cup Series, let's see. We know Kyle Larson won his way in.
Christopher Bell won his way in.
Christopher Bell won his way in. So that's 2 spots already taken. William Byron.
I'm honestly just gonna leave it as the championship.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it as the 4.
Don't mind the top 4 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so William Byron and Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I agree. Because obviously we can't swap out Kyle Larson or Christopher Bell. So I've
not even.
It's like if I could, I'd probably swap William Byron for like Tyler Reddick or Chris Buescher. Like Tyler Reddick has a better chance, but if he got in, that means I feel like it would knock out Ryan. So
Well, I mean, Blaney's in by 10, and Tyler's out by 10.
Yeah.
So,
For Tyler Reddick to get in, something has to happen to William Byron during the race.
We just need Ryan to win the race. Ryan needs to win Martinsville.
Preferably.
I don't know how many people know this, because I don't actually, like, outright say it. So last year's Martinsville race, the race that Ross Chastain did, the Hail Melon. Okay, so I was sitting on Ryan Blaney's pit box during that race. And
it happened right after William and I.
Yes. I was sitting on the pit box, and all of a sudden I just see this red blur going around 3 and 4. And everybody's just screaming. Okay? But that's not the point. That's not what I was getting at there. So Ryan Blaney ran the discount tire car at Martinsville. I don't know if he's going to be doing that again. He probably is, because he does 2 races a year. But if you guys watched that race, the rear bumper on Ryan Blaney's car is sitting in my garage right now. I'm not even kidding. The actual full clip, like, entire rear bumper is sitting in my garage right now. So, I have a lot of pieces of cars that just nobody knows about.
That was the only time I ever cheered for him, because he knocked Denny Hamlin out of the playoffs.
Oh, what, Ross? Mm-hmm. See, Ross is actually a really cool dude. I got his I got his hat. Like, if you watch his interview after that happened, the moose hat that he's wearing, it is hanging on my wall right now.
I got Ross to FaceTime my sister.
Oh,
I have the video of it. That was pretty funny. You know, literally after he got done, he came out and talked to, like, the few fans that were standing out there for 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then we were walking back to the camper. What do you know? He's just standing up there with his parents, and his mom's handing out stickers. So I have at least, like, 7 Ross watermelon stickers.
As for Formula 1, they are going back to back this weekend in Mexico. It is Sergio Perez, Checo's home race. And there's kind of rumors that now that Lewis got disqualified, it might not even be possible. But there's rumors that if Checo loses second in the championship, that he could be replaced for next season. Which he's like, now he's probably up by like 35 points. Maybe a little more, maybe 40 points on Lewis. Now that Lewis got disqualified. But if he completely bombs out of these next few races, and Lewis is like insane, he might end up losing P2. But we'll find out. I've never seen a race in Mexico City. I think it's roughly the same time zone as Texas. Maybe it's a little different. I think it's somewhere in between California and Texas. So our U.S. fans, we're not gonna be up in the middle of the night again, because the rest of their schedule is they have Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas, and Abu Dhabi. Or not, yeah, Abu Dhabi, because that's where the season finale is at. So we're coming down to the wire. Cause you have Mexico this week. I want to say they have a week off. And then Brazil, and then I know Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi are back to back. So they're done by the end of November. So, but we
have nothing.
Yeah, us, but
Then we have nothing.
yeah. Man, we have 2 races left of the NASCAR season, and 4 races left of the Formula season.
I might actually cry. That's so sad.
Gosh, it's gonna be a rough off season. Okay, let's just put it that way.
I'm not gonna know what to do with my life for like. It's not even. It's like 2 months. That's it. But it's still sad.
It's like, yeah, technically the Clash is at the beginning of February, but like the real race is Daytona, and that's usually like mid to late February. I think it's like the 20th or something.
Yeah.
So we have to wait that long. And then
it's so sad.
And then Formula 1 usually starts like the first week of March. So it's like we gotta wait even later for that.
Jeez, what were you
Gosh. What are we gonna do?
Dude, we like started this podcast in like the middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's been wild, cause like that means the Cup Series has had 18 races since the Coca-Cola 600. Cause we started like a week or 2 after. Actually, maybe even later than that. Because Atlanta was our 3rd episode. Guys, it has been 15 weeks since Atlanta.
Oh. No way.
Holy crap. Oh my, that's wild.
Molly, here we go again talking to strangers online. But it turned out fine this time.
Uh-huh.
Dude, no, that's actually so crazy because, like, literally, Molly and I met online, and then Molly started talking to you, and then I messaged you, and now here we are.
I was about to say, like, I'm pretty sure Molly found me on TikTok first.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so, because I think I posted just one of my videos of my pictures.
Yeah.
That was wild.
This is weird.
That's wild.
This is so weird.
Wow.
It's
crazy.
if you want to talk to strangers online, go for it because it might turn out great.
Yeah.
Or it might not. But clearly, it turned out great here.
So
that's all.
This has been the 18th episode of the Trackside Girls podcast.
It's getting harder to do that because I'm not gonna have enough fingers.
It's okay. Once we get 20.
I know, like you can do.
Oh, no, hold it. No, 20.
You need to do that.
Yeah, you gotta go the opposite way. You're flipped on my screen. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. True.
But that means the episode after the championship race will be the 20th episode.
Wow.
That's insane. All right. Well, peace out, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. However you enjoy our podcast. And we'll catch you guys at Martinsville. Bye, guys.
Yeah. That'll be a laugh.